títí ọjọ́ àpín o ọ̀nà bàjínà jìnnà àdópin o àti sáré àdópin aré alàdìjìyà àdópin ìyá o àti súnsún àti kọ̀ ògiri ó má ti jẹ́ ìkọ́ dọ̀tí mọ́ o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
ilé òyìnbó náà kárẹ̀ tó omi kálé ayé òyìnbó ró padà bí káàró láyé náà la ó wà nígbà ó fi ṣẹ́gun lójú àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ẹkún àkọjá òkùnkùn wá fi mọ́lẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ọjọ́ ayọ̀ súnmọ́lé o.
Láìláì pọ́npá ó má di láìláì pọ́npá Yorùbá ò ní jọ balẹ̀ fẹ́nìkan ó ti gbẹ̀yìn kọ́ dọ̀tí mọ́ o.
Yé ẹ̀dìdé ẹ̀dìdé dídé bí ológun ẹ bá jàgbá sílẹ̀ o ẹ rántí àtọmọdọ́mọ oníṣùwà kò ní rẹ̀ wá bá ó fi ṣẹ́gun ẹni tó dé ó tọ́jú ẹni tó lẹ́nu bọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó lè ní dúró kẹ́dúró gbọ̀n kẹ́dúró gbọ̀n kẹ́dúró gbọ̀n 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 àtùpà tó ní kan ní orí ẹ bá sùn wẹ́gbẹ́ ọjọ́ ayọ̀ fún mọ́lé o.
Bí a bá kú tí a bá jí a ó mẹ́ni ní fẹ́ràn ẹni bá ṣàìsàn kò yóò lè mọyì àlàáfíà. Bí a bá ṣaláìní ká tó wá ní a ó mọyì bàbá fojoojúmọ́ jẹun adá. Ó dé bá fún Yorùbá tí í ṣe ọmọ Odùduwà bàbá mi òkè gàgàgà tí í ṣe lékè lẹ́yìn àṣòótọ́. Ọ̀yọ́ Ìbàdàn Oǹdó Ìjẹ̀ṣà Ilé Ifẹ̀ o.
Wá ohùn alóore Odùduwà ló ń pè.
Àkúrẹ́ Ọ̀wọ̀ Ìkàrẹ́ Ìwẹ̀yìn Èkìtì ẹgbóhùn ìgbé o.
Wá ohùn alóore Odùduwà ló ń pè.
Ìbàràpá Ilé Ẹ̀gbádò ẹ̀yìn Ọ̀ṣun ẹgbóhùn ìgbé o.
Wá ohùn alóore Odùduwà ló ń pè.
Ẹ̀yìn Ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ Àlárẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ ọmọ Ìṣàbí.
Wá ohùn alóore Odùduwà ló ń pè o. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ọjọ́ ayọ̀ súnmọ́lé o.
tó mo kó nílé mo kálejò mo kí lọ́kùnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí obìnrin mo kí ọmọdé mo kí àgbàlagbà mo kí Olódùmarè ọba tó dá mi mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ pé mo dúpẹ́ o wípé ó tún sì fún mi lẹ́mìí tó ní kí n máa ṣẹ̀mí lọ ìwọ náà bá dúpẹ́ tiẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ká gbọ́ mi ní jẹ́ kíkí pọ̀ jù gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ti ṣe sọ pé kí n má máa kígbá káwò mọ́ àmọ́ àlè ṣe ká má recognize ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń bá wa wo iṣẹ́ wa láti ilẹ̀ òkèèrè àti láti Nàìjíríà bí mo wá fi àsìkò yìí sọ pé ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ Bàbá Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV tí ẹ̀ ń wo ṣánẹ́ẹ̀lì wa káàkiri gbogbo ayé ní Nàìjíríà ní l'Amẹ́ríkà ní Canada àti níbikíbi tẹ́tí wò wá kiri gbogbo yín mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ kí n tó máa bẹ́ ètò tòní lọ ẹ jẹ́ ń fi àsìkò yìí rọ̀ wá wípé bí mo ti máa ń sọ gbogbo gbà pé ẹ wo ibi tí wọ́n kọ subscribe sí ẹ bá wa tẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ẹ sì wo ibi tí wọ́n fi àmì aago sí ẹ bá wa tẹ̀ yẹn náà eléyìí ni notification bell ìgbàkígbà tí n bá ti rìkọ́ọ̀dù tí mo ti gbé síta lẹ́ẹ̀máa wò ó live bákan náà ni pé ní oṣù tuntun tá a mú lónìí lágbára Olódùmarè a máa gbé àwọn ètò lóríṣiríṣiríṣiríṣi bọ́ sí ayé láwọn nínú ṣánẹ́ẹ̀lì wa tuntun tí a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lónìí báyìí láti Monday lọ ẹ máa rí àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tuntun nínú ṣánẹ́ẹ̀lì wa yìí àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tẹsírọ̀nù gbogbo àwọn equipment wa báyìí látẹ̀lé bó ṣe rí nù bákan náà ni pé ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá fẹ́ bá wa dòwò pọ̀ nínú iléeṣẹ́ wa ẹ ṣàpè nọ́mbà mi gbogbo yín náà lẹ mọ̀ Airtel nọ́mbà mi nọ́mbà tẹ máa fi mẹ́sẹ̀jì mi lórí WhatsApp òun náà la ṣe ń lò báyìí tó bá máa fi di Monday the marketers number I'll send díẹ̀ sí yín tẹ́yìn náà máa gbọ́ bákan náà ni pé ẹ fẹ́ polówó ọjà ni ẹ fẹ́ ṣe ayẹyẹ ni tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ kí bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ bá yín gbé sáyé ẹ̀yẹn sápè mí. bákan náà ni pé bóyá ẹ̀yin ní ìkéde pàtàkì kan tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ fún gbogbo ayé àbáwọn ẹgbẹ́ kan ẹ ṣáàgùn mi láago owó péréte báyìí lágbà lọ́wọ́ yín tá sì gbà yín nà ń bẹ́ẹ̀. Yorùbá ní òwò ọ ní ìpolówó òun náà ní àgùnmu òwò tẹ́ bá polówó ọjà yín tí gbogbo ayé bá rí kẹ́ ẹ tó mọ ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ kódà láti ìlú òyìnbó wọ́n lè máa pè yín kí wọ́n máa bá yín rajà. nítorí ìdí èyí ẹ subscribe kẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ bá wa tẹ notification bell kẹ́ẹ̀sì máa gbá wa láago. ààyè tó wà fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ fẹ́ lo channel wa tẹ́ fẹ́ lo studio wa real time tẹ́ bá fẹ́ rà 30 minutes ní 1 hour ní tẹ́yìn náà máa fi ṣe program bóyá program kan lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀. ààyè tó wà fún wọn tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń bọ̀ tó ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ dá dúró tí wọn náà ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ káyé máa gbóhùn ẹ ààyè ti wà studio bíi 7 la ní nínú ibi tá a wà yìí studio bíi 7 ìkànnì mi lò yìí ó sì kú bíi 6 ní inú building wa yìí tó jẹ́ pé full equipped studio ló jẹ́. gbogbo yín náà la dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ torí pé ó ṣeé ṣe láti ìrànlọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ẹlẹ́dàá àti ìrànlọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn tí ẹ̀ ń lù wá lọ́gọ ẹnu tẹ́ ń bá wa woṣẹ́ wa kódà ẹlòmíì àtúnfowó ránṣẹ́ sí mi pàápàá gbogbo yín ni mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. tó bá dijọ́ sátidé tó ń bọ̀ pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run officially a máa ṣe official opening of this channel a máa ṣí channel ìjọ sátidé tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn tọ́lá yìí ìjọ 9 lágbára Ọlọ́run. gbogbo èèyàn náà la pé o kódà abára ẹni tó lè wá láti Amẹ́ríkà láti London láti Canada inú wa dùn. tó happy independence sí Nàìjíríà bí kí la máa pè é ṣé kí n sọ pé happy independence ni àbí happy dependence mi ìmọ̀ ìta àbá pè nu méjèèjì ṣùgbọ́n tí mo ṣàmọ̀ ni pé Nàìjíríà sápè 61 years lénìí tí wọ́n ti fún wa ní òmìnira. síwájú kí n tó máa lọ jẹ́ kí àwọn mùsùlùmí àwọn ọmọ ìyá mi ní Islam Jumatu Mubarak. bákan náà ni pé ìyá mi kan wà níbi tí wọ́n ṣe ọjọ́ ìbí lónìí olórí Àbíkẹ́ Adé. mo kí yín o wípé lágbára Ọlọ́run ọba ẹ ṣe àmọ́dún. I say once again that on behalf of the whole crew members of Baba Gbagede Mo channel a fi àsìkò yìí kí yín pé happy birthday àṣẹ ìṣàmọ́dún ní agbára Ọlọ́run. olórí Èrèlú Àbíkẹ́ Ọmọlọ́lá Tèmilọ́lá a fi àsìkò yìí kí yín o Èrèlú àfàsìkò yìí kí yín pé ní agbára Ọlọ́run ìdààmú lọ́tún lósì tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorubanation kò kú ní bọ́ sí asán lágbára Ọlọ́run. tó ẹ má jẹ́ ká sọ iléyá ẹ má jẹ́ aṣọ di lépẹ́ lónìí. ẹ jẹ́ á bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí independence tí Nàìjíríà ń ṣe. olórí orílẹ̀-èdè wa láńlọ́ọ̀dù Àbújá wọ́n jáde lónìí wọ́n ṣe live broadcast ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan kan wá yà mí lẹ́nu nínú tí wọ́n sọ nì òtórí tó sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí jù òun náà ní security ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan kan tí wọ́n wá sọ tó pa èmi lẹ́rìn tí mo rí pé ẹ̀rín ni bókànràn kí a ṣe ń tó tọ́ a tún wẹ́sẹ̀ à ń wá ẹ̀sùn sí àwọn èèyàn lẹ́sẹ̀ à ń mátamọ́ kiri. president wa jáde lẹ́nu wọn ní àwọn èèyàn kan ló wà lẹ́yìn Ìgbòho àti Nnamdi Kanu tí wọ́n fi ń da ìlú rú. wọ́n láwọn èèyàn kan ló wà lẹ́yìn wọn wọ́n sì ní gbogbo àwọn àti Nnamdi Kanu àti Ìgbòho páwọn ti gbé wọn pamọ́ ṣé wá ráwọn tó kù lẹ́yìn wọn wọ́n ní gbogbo wọn pátá làwọn máa rí páwọn arrest tán. president ní gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ̀lé gbogbo wọn làwọn máa make sure páwọn arrest àtàwọn tí wọ́n sọ hate speech àwọn tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ àlùfàṣà tí wọ́n tún ń parọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tí wọ́n tún ń parọ́ wọ́n ní gbogbo wọn pátá làwọn máa gbé. ó dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ Mr. President èmi gan support yín pé gbogbo àwọn tó ń parọ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbé wọn. ẹ ṣàrántí pé chairman ní gbogbo àwọn tí ń parọ́ ó ti yé yín mínísítà yín èmi ò ní dárúkọ chairman òpùrọ́ nìyẹn orúkọ ẹ̀gbọ́n gbọ́ pàápàá ó tún jọ mọ́rọ́ pípa àbí kí wọ́n máa ń pe rọ́ pípa ní òyìnbó wọ́n ní láì ẹ̀kọ́ òun ní kẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ gbé torí òun lórí òpùrọ́ nílùú Nàìjíríà tí gbogbo ayé mọ̀ tó gba àwọn tí wọ́n ń parọ́ yẹn ẹ sá make sure pé gbé wọn pátápátá ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó bá ń sòdodo lórí ń tẹ́ ẹ ṣe àti bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣèjọba bẹ́ẹ̀ bá gbé wọn wàhálà lẹ́gbẹ́ o wàhálà lẹ́gbẹ́ torí àwọn tí wọ́n ń dà lúrú gangan gọ́fìmẹ̀ntì gbẹ́nu kúrò lọ́dọ̀ wọn kódà wọ́n sọ débi pé ìkan nínú àwọn National Assembly àwọn ti rí àwọn wọ́n sì investigate ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọ́n ń tọpinpin pa ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ni wọ́n láwọn ti rí pé òun gan ló ń gbówó lẹ̀ fún Nnamdi Kanu àti Sunday Igboho tí wọ́n fi ń dà lúrú wọ́n ní tọ̀hún wà ní National Assembly lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ wọn wá dárúkọ bóyá Senate bóyá House of Reps ẹ má jẹ́ àbòpò ẹ má jẹ́ àbá òpó lọ sílé olóró bóyá ẹ jẹ́ kí a gbọ́ live speech ti live broadcast ti Mr. President mò ń padà bọ̀.
Very soon its impact will be felt. In the northeast region alone, over 8,000 Boko Haram terrorists have surrendered. To support our surge approach to fighting banditry, the Nigerian Armed Forces have recruited over 17,000 personnel across all ranks. Furthermore, I have also approved for the Nigerian Police Force to recruit 10,000 police officers annually over the next 6 years. I am also pleased to note that most of the Air Force platforms we acquired over the past 3 years have started to arrive in Nigeria. These will positively impact on security operation in all parts of the country. In line with Section 14, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution as amended, the security and welfare of Nigerians continue to be the prime focus on which programs and projects of our government revolves. Therefore, as a government, we are ready to arrest and prosecute all persons inciting violence through words or action. Our resolve for a peaceful, united, and one Nigeria remains resolute and unwavering. That said, our hope is not to fight for peace. We can always settle our grievances peacefully without spilling any blood. I will therefore take this opportunity on this special day that symbolizes the unity and oneness of our great nation to ask all Nigerians to embrace peace and dialogue, whatever your grievances. The seeds of violence are planted in people's heads through words. Reckless utterances of a few have led to losses of many innocent lives and destruction of properties. Such unfiltered and unsubstantiated lies and hate speeches by a few evil persons must be stopped. Our media houses and commentators must move away from just reporting irresponsible remarks to investigating the truth behind all statements and presenting the facts to readers. We must all come out and speak against the lies being peddled. At this point, I would want to sincerely appreciate the large number of our traditional, religious, and community leaders, as well as other well-meaning Nigerians who, in their various fora, are openly spreading the message of peaceful coexistence and conflict settlement through dialogue in their respective communities. Nigeria is for all of us. Its unity is not negotiable, and its ultimate success can only be achieved if we all come together with a common goal of having peace and prosperity for our nation. We shall continue to work on dialogue-based solutions to address legitimate grievances, but we remain ready to take decisive actions against secessionist agitators and their sponsors who threaten our national security. The recent arrests of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Adeyemo and the ongoing investigations being conducted have revealed certain high-profile financiers behind these individuals. We are vigorously pursuing these financiers, including one identified as a serving member of the National Assembly. Fellow Nigerians, this is a clear example of how people abandon their national leadership positions for their selfish gains. Instead of preaching unity, they are funding and misleading our youth to conduct criminal acts that sometimes lead to unfortunate and unnecessary loss of lives and property. As the so-called leaders ran abroad to hide, our innocent youth are misled and left in the streets to fight for their senseless and destructive causes. Government will continue with greater level of people's participation and in collaboration with our international partners to improve the security architecture, reduce enabling environment for criminality to thrive, and eliminate opportunities for terrorism financing.
That is His Excellency, retired General Muhammadu Buhari, the able President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Àwọn lẹ́gbọ́n tí wọ́n broadcast tán yẹn. Ó sì pa mí lẹ́rìn torí tí mo rí gbọ́ yìí ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó bà mí nínú jẹ́. Ọ̀tọ̀ ni tèmi ń retí kí president sọ. Ní tí mo ń retí kan sọ ni pé kí wọ́n pẹ̀tù sí gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà nínú, kí wọ́n sì pẹ̀tù sí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n láwọn fẹ́ pín nínú, kí wọ́n tún sọ fún wọn pàápàá pé a ṣetán láti bá yín jíròrò ìǹtẹ́ bá fẹ́ wá béèrè. Ara àwọn tèmi ń retí kí wọ́n sọ rè, kì í ṣe pé kí wọ́n tún máa wá sọ ọ̀rọ̀ tó tún jẹ́ pé ó máa threaten ìlú. Èyí tí wọ́n sọ lénìí nísìnyí, àwọn tí wọ́n láwọn fẹ́ gba Yorubanation, orí wọn á túbọ̀ kódà á túbọ̀ máa tanná lẹ̀ sí ni. Nígbà tẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan dáadáa, táwọn èèyàn torí ẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ lọ, tẹ́ ẹ̀ tún wá ń dúnkokò mọ́ wọn, tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń dọ̀yà á wọn. Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ bàálù ìjẹ́ ni àbẹ́fẹ́ tún ṣe? Ìtẹ́mi gbọ́ yìí o, reaction tèmi sí o ní pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó fẹ́ lè má bá, ó fẹ́ lè má wúlò. Ní tí ò bá yẹ kéèyàn sọ, kò yẹ kéèyàn máa sọ jáde lẹ́nu. Bó kọ̀ràn kí president pẹ̀tù sáwọn ẹni nínú, kẹ́yẹ pé wọ́n jọ tó bá jẹ́ lódodo lẹ́ẹ̀fẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà túká. Àmọ́ lọ́wọ́ yìí náà ti pín. Wọ́n ti fọwọ́ ara wọn pín Nàìjíríà sí méjì, north and south. Torí gbogbo ìwà tó ń wù àti ìṣesí wọn látijọ́ yìí, ìṣesí north and south ni. Láìpẹ́ yìí Northern Governors Forum dìde tí àwọn náà sọ ti wọn lẹ́nu lẹ́yìn táwọn Southern Forums táwọn yẹn ti jà fẹ́tọ̀ wọn. So definitely àwọn gan ti wulẹ̀ pín Nàìjíríà sí north and south. Tí south bá sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ dáyà, why don't you give them their freedom? Instead kẹ́ máa dúnkokò mọ́ wọn nínú broadcast. Àwọn ti mọ èmi retí kí wọ́n dárúkọ ta ló nítọ̀hún nínú National Assembly tó ń sponsor. Wọ́n ò dárúkọ àwọn tí wọ́n sponsor Boko Haram. Kódà nígbà tí Dubai tún kà wọ́n jáde pàápàá. Àwọn tí wọ́n sponsor bandits tí wọ́n report àwọn ammunitions wọlé fún wọn. Àgbọ́ lẹ́nu gọ́fìmẹ̀ntì rárá. Kódà wọ́n bi Fẹ́mi Adésínà léèrè, ó láwọn ò rẹ́dì láti dárúkọ wọn. Àwọn yẹn wà nù gọ́fìmẹ̀ntì, wọ́n wà National Assembly, wọ́n wà nù ministers. Wọ́n jọ ṣe Federal Executive Mission ni. President kọ̀ wọ́n dárúkọ àwọn yẹn, wọ́n ti ẹ̀ tọ́ sí rárá àti ẹ̀gbọ́n kankan pa ẹ̀. Despite the fact pé Dubai release United Arab Emirates government láti Dubai, wọ́n release a full list of the whole sponsors. Àgbọ̀n kankan pa àwọn yẹn, but in tá à ń rí ni ìmáwá ẹ̀sùn sí àwọn èèyàn lẹ́sẹ̀ kiri. Àwọn èèyàn ajáde sí gboro, àlọ́ interview àwọn èèyàn káàkiri, kí lẹ rí sí independent. Ní táwọn èèyàn sọ lẹ́nu ó ń tìyàn lójú. Gbogbo ayé ló mọ̀ pé Nigeria is not celebrating, we are mourning. Kódà ẹnìkan gan jáde ó ní kí Nigeria gbàgbé pé àwọn celebrate, bó yẹ kó máa mourn ni. Àbí ṣé kí ni ìṣírí ẹlẹ́wọ̀n tó sago mọ́wọ́? What are we celebrating? Do we even want to be celebrating at all? Àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe real independent inú àwọn ọmọ ìlú máa dùn láyé èlé tẹ máa rí tí wọ́n máa wà lórí mọ́tò tó máa ju flag kiri tínú tó máa wá mọ́tò ni wọ́n máa dùn. Èmi ti witness ẹ̀ rí ní Dubai. Mo wọ Dubai lọ́jọ́ yẹn mo ṣàdé pọ́n gbé báàgì kan fún mi. Mo dẹ̀ tún wọlé gbà tí wọ́n clear mi wọlé tán owó mọ́tò reduce. Tó bá ra nǹkan kan ní shopping mall wọn 0.5% ló máa san olè nǹkan tó yẹ kán tà 50 dirham 25 dirham no matter. I was forced to ask kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ilé mi. Wọ́n lè ní Independence Day àwọn àbájọ ẹ̀rí excitement lára lójú ọmọ ìlú nítorí pé ìjọba ṣe tí wọ́n fẹ́ fún wọn. Ọmọ Dubai tó jẹ́ pé ndíjì wọn ń bẹ o tó jọmọ wọn ń bẹ tó ní pálí citizenship lọ́wọ́ tó bá lóhùn sọ́fà irọ́ ló pa torí pé kì í ṣe dandan kan ṣiṣẹ́ níbi tí ìgbádùn yẹn dé fún wọn. The money is there already. Government made enough money for the citizen. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ná fún wọn kì í ṣe bí tàwa máa tó jẹ́ nìkan ló máa lọ save ẹ̀ sí Switzerland tó máa kó lọ America tó máa kó lọ Europe tó máa ní káwọn yẹn máa fi ṣe ayé tóun máa táyọ àpà tá a máa kówó Nàìjíríà lọ máa fi ṣe ayé lọ́hùn. Àwọn ẹni yìí máa ná owó yẹn fún lù láti orí ìgbéyàwó náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ owó níná. Àwọn náà máa ṣe ìgbéyàwó fọ́mọ ìlú wọn ẹ béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹnikẹ́ni. I am stand to be corrected. Mo gbé bẹ̀ dáadáa mo dẹ̀ súnmọ́ wọn gan. Látọ̀rí pé o fẹ́ ṣe ìgbéyàwó àwọn náà máa ṣe ìgbéyàwó fún ẹ. Ìjọba dẹ̀ ti ṣe ìgbéyàwó tán wọ́n ti kó àwọn buildings ńláńlá kan bí àjà 20-50. Ẹ máa rí oráǹdì báyìí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá lọ Dubai dáadáa ó wà ní Dera ó wà ní Burj Khalifa ó wà káàkiri ni wọ́n káwọn buildings yẹn sí. Mọ́tò tuntun ni wọ́n kó síbẹ̀ lẹ́ni àlòkù òyìnbó láwọn ará Nàìjíríà tá à ń celebrate para mọ́tò tó kú bọ̀. Ẹ bọ́ sí títì Nàìjíríà ẹ wo gbogbo mọ́tò tó wà ń bẹ̀ kiri hardly lẹ lè fi rí kí mọ́tò 1000 kọjá lẹ máa rí tuntun ẹyọ kan láàrin 1000. Mọ́tò tó yìnbó lòkù ni àtún máa celebrate inú wa tún máa dùn àtúnra minerals pè mọ́ra mọ́tò ní tó yìnbó ti lò tó ti pati. Brand new car ó ní wọ́n máa gbé fún ó ti ṣe wedding àbí gbà ká eléyìí ní ó ní iye ọdún tí wọ́n máa fi san owó yẹn. Ó ní iye ọdún tí wọ́n máa fi san owó yẹn fún ẹ láti marry. It means pé ó ní ìdíṣẹ́ wọ́n á wá bí ẹ́ ṣó fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ni àbò fẹ́ máa gbowó state. Ẹ wá ní kínú àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ má dùn. Ìyí tí ò bá fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ ti rí wọn láàárọ̀ máa wá mu tíì aṣọ wọn white jalabia náà tó máa wọ̀ ẹ tí wọ́n parábò lélẹ́yìí ẹ fẹ́ bọ̀ lọ́rùn wọn. Ètò bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ṣẹ́ ìjọba ni níjọba ti wọṣẹ́ náà ti máa gbé mọ́tò yẹn fún mọ́tò 35 million bí 50 million bí wọ́n ti gbé fún wọ́n dẹ̀ máa yọ owó yẹn for 35 years tó máa fi rìtáyà náà fi máa yọ owó yẹn. Ẹjọ́ owó téèyàn wá bá yọ for 35 years èló lẹ́rù pọ́n máa yọ ní owó ẹ̀. Àwọn àrà lówó kíkan wá látọ̀hún láti UK ní Germany ní àbíbo náà ti ń bá wọn import ẹ̀ wọlé owó tó hàn ní gọ́fìmẹ̀ntì máa rà wọlé owó tó cheap ni wọ́n máa tà fọ́mọ ìlú. Àwọn real subsidy tí wọ́n san tá à ń fojú rí pé wọ́n san ní àwọn tí wọ́n jókòó ti real subsidy ní kì í ṣe subsidy tá a máa la fi kún petrol bí tó jápò àwọn kan ní subsidy lọ tó máa import omi wọlé tó máa láwọn import nǹkan rí. Àwọn aráàlú yìí inú wọn sọ bá dùn dé ìjọba ti wọṣẹ́ báyìí sẹ́ náà ti máa mú ẹ lọ car assemblage lọ gbé mọ́tò tuntun tó bá wù ẹ́ any of your choice. Ọ̀rọ̀ pé sálárì mi ò kakọ́ bí responsibility ẹ bá ṣe tó ní Dubai náà ṣe máa ní gọ́fìmẹ̀ntì ṣe máa take care ẹ tó o ti bímọ o ti níyàwó àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ọ̀nà máa rán school ìyàwó ẹ̀ ọ̀nà máa feed ẹ̀ ẹ pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa lọ Dubai ẹ bí ọmọ Dubai tó jẹ́ díjì ìbẹ̀lẹ́rẹ̀ náà ṣe ń fúnyàn citizenship ò bá bí gbogbo ọmọ inú ẹ̀ síbẹ̀ wọn ní fún ẹ pálí. Ó níye tí wọ́n san fún àwọn ọmọ ìlú wọn lóṣooṣù tó bá tún wá níṣẹ́ ló fẹ́ ṣe iṣẹ́ náà sọ rọrùn débi pé ó dẹ̀ tún níye tán máa san fún ẹ lọ́tọ̀. Then mi ò tí ì rírí látọdún tèmi tí lọ Dubai mi ì rí ọmọ Dubai kankan ká sọ pé òun àtìyàwó ẹ̀ ló ń fẹsẹ̀ rìn lọ yẹn láyé inú mọ́tò tuntun àwọn mọ́tò ńláńlá táwa ń pọ́nlé Nàìjíríà bí àwọn sophisticated cars lẹ máa rí wọn young girl young boys tọ́ṣẹ̀ máa rí pẹ̀lú ìyàwó wọn nínú mọ́tò full AC ẹ wá ní káwọn yẹn ṣe independence kí ni wọ́n má dùn ẹ ní káwọn yẹn ṣe independence kan má celebrate mo ti gbé fídíò kan wá dọ́kan rí tí ọmọ ìlú Dubai tó ń fọ́nbù sí wa pé àwa ní ń táwọn ò ní ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ní nǹkan kan tó pàtàkì táwọn ò ní ó láwà ló wà lọ́rọ̀ a ní gbogbo mineral resources ṣùgbọ́n a ní leadership ó láwọn ò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ ní nǹkan kan lọ́dọ̀ àwọn làwọn mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ create ń táwọn fi ń rówó ó ní ṣùgbọ́n àwọn wá ní good leadership tí wọ́n take care ọmọ ìlú ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ abọ́sígboro àbí àwọn èèyàn lénìí kí ni tẹ́ ẹ rí sí independent ẹgbẹ́ gbogbo tó ní kálukú sọ àti arákùnrin kan tó sọ pé kí Nàìjíríà gbàgbé pé wọ́n celebrate we supposed to be money ni mò ń bọ̀.
Today marks 61 years since the British Union Jack was being lowered and the green, white, green flag being hoisted in this square just behind me. The world's most populous black nation continues to forge ahead 6 decades after gaining our independence. But the question is, how has she fared as a country so far? My name is Sonny Jacob, and today we are on the streets asking Nigerians what they feel about the country at 61.
At 61, this is not where we're supposed to be anyway.
In fact, it just occurred to me now that we'll be celebrating our independence on the 1st of October.
Well, we don't have much to say about it, simply because there is nothing to show about.
Since we have been alive, we thank God for everything.
To me, one word, Nigeria 61, I just think it's like a work in progress.
Everything is going backward. I mean, as in reversing.
Nigeria is 61. I'm very happy because I'm a Nigerian man. Everything is okay now for Nigeria. We need to pray for Nigeria.
I don't see anything we are celebrating. As a nation, we don't even have a nation. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like Nigeria.
First of all, I will give God the glory that Nigeria is 61. But with the security challenges and other things that we are facing, we are trusting God that things will get better by the special grace of God.
The country is not moving well. People are suffering, too much suffering. People are frustrated in this country.
Everything have changed, not the way it is. Things that you think that you can afford before, now it is more than your own capacities.
The way Nigeria is going on at the year of 61 is not impressive at all. It's not impressive. Many things are going wrong, of which we have not experienced in life, in the country.
No employment. Everything is cost.
We are just counting years, but no progress, no improvement. We are in critical condition.
It's a pity that we don't have anything to celebrate as a nation. There's a lot of injustice. Injustice abound everywhere. So if you, even before now, I can even say Nigeria is a little bit better. But the present state we are, no. It's better we even call it off as a country. We call it off as a country. A lot of nepotism, tribal discrimination. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like Nigeria.
We want a better day for our citizens, the people.
Nigeria at 61 have gone a long way, but they need better restructuring, better leadership, make provisions for good roads.
We, the oil producing nation, we are not happy. We, the Niger Deltas, we are not happy. We from the south, we are not happy. You can see the PIB bill that was passed. It wasn't passed in our favor. So Nigeria going to 61, it's like we are not growing older, we are not growing civilized, we are not growing wiser. What's going on in Nigeria in 61 years? It's like as if a man going to 61 years and is behaving like 12 years.
A child of 61 would have been one of the, I think, a senior citizen of a country. So at 61, somebody is deemed to be at least matured, but we are not mature at all.
You know, progress can still be made even at 61, but even as it appears from even the event so far, especially this present administration. It's like we have moved 4 steps backwards.
So far, so good. It has been so rough somehow, but that notwithstanding, we still try.
My prayer for Nigeria, we are hoping for better days for Nigeria.
Nigeria is 61, it's still going, and we hope for the best.
I just pray to Almighty God to intervene in our country, but there's nothing we can do again.
So all what we need is prayer. May God come for our own aid, because Nigeria is in problem, to be frank.
There is still hope. Hopefully, after the independence, all the desires and all the effort, even our founding fathers, even they made in getting us independence, we come to actualization.
You can feel the reactions from the tone of their voices. Some of disappointment, others of hope and expectation. This represents the everyday Nigerian. What does the coming years hold for them?
As the nation celebrates its 61st birthday, it's increasingly and depressingly clear that Nigeria is becoming 2 different countries, the North and the South, with little shared identity. The cleavages in Nigerian society have become so extreme, and no recent issue better exemplifies this phenomenon than the growing spate of insecurity, kidnappings, killings, insurgency, banditry, and extreme poverty, economic woes, just to mention a few of the myriads of issues confronting us as a nation. On the anniversary of our independence, Nigeria is less a country united and far more a house divided. For many Nigerians, the holiday is a painful reminder of all Nigeria's kleptocratic rulers stole from them. With us today on Sahara TV's special Independence Day coverage is Dele Farutimi, a legal practitioner, a political activist, and a political affairs analyst on the lies we tell ourselves every Independence Day. Dele Farutimi, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you for having me.
Let me start by asking you, what does October 1st mean to you personally?
Before I answer that question, there was something you said in the introduction that I must deal with quickly. And that is the North-South divide. And I'm going to put that in quote. Our kleptocratic ruiners would prefer that we shape the discourse in those terms. But the reality is that those terms would be somewhat misleading, even though the facts that they will play up would tend to suggest that there is indeed a North-South divide. So it is an issue that we need to come back to at some point in our discourse, because a lot of fallacies are hidden in that phrase. What does the Independence Day mean? Well, as I was saying yesterday to some friends, Nigeria is not a country that has managed to produce citizens. And in the absence of citizens, we have been robbed of patriots, because it is only citizens who transit to become patriots. But because Nigeria does not have room for equal citizenship, it is not ruled by law, but by the imperatives of men and their prerogatives. What it has meant is that in place of a nation or even a country, we have an amoral state that is by far more powerful than the sum total of the people within its territory. So Nigeria is that anomalous state that does not have citizens because it is not governed by law. And its birthday is to be mourned, not to be celebrated. It's 61 years old. He's older than I am. But in his entire history, at least in my lifetime, it has never given me any reason to be proud, because it has never afforded me citizenship.
So there is nothing to celebrate. Absolutely nothing.
How about the words freedom?
Freedom.
Liberation? I mean,
what does freedom mean? What does liberation mean? The first condition of freedom is self-determination, the capacity to determine the course of my life. When the theory of state was propounded, it said that men living in the state of nature came together in recognition of the brutish and nasty nature of the state in which they were living, and they thereby donated their rights to the state. They created an entity larger than themselves, and that state is usually governed by rules, by laws. Every modern state evolved from the right of citizens being donated to create governance. The Magna Carta dates back to 12 something, maybe about 12, I can't remember now, but that's the 13th century. The Nigerian Constitution, the first one, dates back only what? 1960s. So when you begin to see the disparity in the number of years by which the states in modern Europe and everywhere evolved, you find that the rights of citizens were first established, and it was citizens who established states. The sovereigns became subject to law. But in Africa, because we are a creation of the white man's fantasy, we were created for the white man's convenience, his economic stratagem. Those were the foundation for the creation of African states. Some people sat down between themselves at a table in Berlin, and they drew lines, and they created countries. Unfortunately, even when they exited, they created conditions that have made it impossible for citizenship to emerge in those places. So in a place like Nigeria, for instance, you find that the basis for the creation of the Nigerian state were tribal associations who were cobbled together at independence, represented by those we call founding fathers. You then find very quickly that even the history of the Bill of Rights that you find enshrined in the 1960 Constitution came out of the agitation of the minorities who were worried about the protection of their rights, trapped between the three behemoths who were the regions at independence in 1960. So you find very quickly that rights in Nigeria have not evolved as a function of citizenship. They have emerged as a function of tribal fears for domination. And that tells you the way the state in Nigeria views rights. So when they when they make a Yoruba man the president, they believe that that should silence me as a Yoruba man, and I therefore have lost the right to complain about the inequities of the Nigerian state, because my right as a citizen has been aggregated and subsumed behind a group identity. So you find that in Nigeria, when we talk about the concept of freedom, when we talk about the concept of right, it actually has completely different connotation from the intentions of those who own those words.
But let me quickly get this clarification. I mean, because quite a number of people will disagree with you, considering the fact that
I'm used to that.
Our founding fathers actually fought for the liberation.
What did they fight for?
I mean, these were the tenants.
You see, the greatest problem of the black man, not just Nigeria.
They themselves refer to themselves as being patriots.
No, don't worry. The people call themselves different names in Nigeria. Obasanjo will tell you he's a statesman. So would a lot of other people, including Shonekon, whose government had been declared illegal by a court. He still goes to the National Council of State meeting. Every Nigerian that you see referred to as a statesman is a crook. Simpliciter. It is actually, when you use words in Nigeria, be careful to look at the root. They will call a Babangida a statesman, for instance. They will call an Abdusalam a statesman. They are all statesmen, and the only thing that distinguishes them from the rest of us is the impunity by which they had governed and by which they had stolen all of us blind and ruined the country. So when you use the word statesman in the Nigerian context, or people use words, we use so many words in Nigeria that do not mean what they are meant to mean. And I'm not I'm actually always very happy to be disagreed with. The beauty is that I would think before I open my mouth, even though I might speak categorically to some facts. And when I do, it is intended to provoke. If what I have said is wrong, or if it is a lie, then I challenge the other person to come up with a counter-argument or the facts that I have in some way contravened by stating the position I have taken, which they might be unhappy with. If, for instance, I say that everyone who has ruled Nigeria is a thief, it's a matter of fact. It's not just an opinion. That is the way it is. The state rules and is governed by impunity. So let's call it what it is. We're 61 years old. If this were to be a true human being at 61, if, God forbid, that a parent should bet something like Nigeria at 61, what has he achieved?
Absolutely. Something you really said earlier resonated with me personally. And that has to do with this North-South contraption. I mean, could you clarify?
See, one of the biggest lies in Nigerian history is the presumption of a monolithic northern Nigeria. So when you hear someone sit in Arewa House in Kaduna and presumes to speak for the North, the question you need to ask is this. The North for whom he presumes to speak, does it have space for the Jukun man? Is the TV man part of that North? The man in Nasarawa that is neither Fulani, is that person a part of that North? So when they're talking about the North, and they're talking even as far as the Northeast, even the Northeast, the Northwest, the people of Kankara, whose children were abducted, are they part of that North? Because these questions need to be asked. Those people busy killing each other in Jos, on the plateau, are they part of that North? These are questions that need to be asked. Those children in the Islamia school in Niger State, are they part of that North? The people who were killed in Niger State, I think that just a couple of days back, are they part of that North? Exactly what does that North represent? So when people stand up and speak blithely to a North-South divide, what I say is that you're actually helping the evil ruiners of Nigeria to magnify the divisions that they had always worked on to ensure that they are preserved in power. The Nigerian ruining class, whether that be the Yoruba members of that class, or the Igbo members, or the Ijaw members, or is Ponde a Fulani man? Is Akpabio a Fulani man? Is Tinubu a Fulani man? Is Fashola a Fulani man? Is any one of them outside of the token Fulani who are sat there in the strategic security architecture of this country? Many of them are Fulanis. The people ruining Nigeria comes from all across Nigeria. So when they talk about the North-South divide, you must understand that this is merely a smokescreen behind which a whole lot of people are hiding. If it's truly about a North-South divide, then there shouldn't be any problem between IPOB and the Southeast governors. There should be no division between what the man in the creek in the Niger Delta wants and what Okowa and the governors of Rivers and Bayelsa, what they want should not be different from what the person in the creek wants. But the reality is that there is a vast difference between what you hear in rhetorics and the reality on the ground. They might, when it suits them to speak to a North-South divide, you find Southern governors playing up secessionist sentiments merely as a negotiation stratagem. You find people actively encouraging secessionist arguments when they, in their actions, actually stifle the right to self-determination. So when people talk about the North-South divide, it will be fraudulent of me to suggest that some people have not hidden behind this to advance their own class interest. But as a people, the Nigerian poor do not care where the person bearing their food is coming from. Adamu and Emeka are busy trading, living together. They quarrel, yeah, but they make up. But those who divide them and gain from dividing them do business together on a steady. They don't quarrel. When you hear their quarrels, they're quarreling over how to share the loot. But the victims are busy taking sides in a quarrel between crooks who are merely quarreling about how to share the very clothes you are wearing on your back. So, this North-South divide thing, we need to be very careful about how we look at it. The Nigerian ruining crowds will be very happy if Nigeria should collapse around the weight of its hypocrisy, because it then means that they can get away with all they have stolen. The average local government councillor has alternative citizenship. He's bought citizenship of one island in the Mediterranean, just like Diezani merely pointed the way to a whole lot of them. They all have alternative citizenship. Anything happens in Nigeria tomorrow, they're gone. And it is the only way they guarantee that they escape with their loot. If people are not sure that they would escape with their loot, how could what has been happening in the National Assembly be happening? Think about it. Under the full glare of the cameras, you could hear the chairman off the mic. If they off the mic, they off our eyes. Have you heard anybody talk about it since that time? See, they are happy if we are stupid enough to start killing ourselves on the basis of a North-South divide. The person who was speaking, he was from the Niger Delta, Akpabio. The person offering the mic, he's a Yoruba man. Sat in that committee will be people also from the Niger Delta. There is a pan-Nigerian crass. They don't care about religion. Their ethnicity also does not matter. It's a crass thing. That crass that you call the ruling class, that class does not care where you come from. It's an advantage if you could speak Fufu Day as far as Buhari is concerned. That might accelerate your progress in the rank.
Oh, ẹ káàbọ̀ padà. Ẹgbọ́n táwọn aráàlú sọ. Ẹ̀dẹ̀gbọ́n nǹkan tí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Délé Fárótìmí yẹn sọ. Yes. Ọlọ́run á ṣàánú wa. This is the kind of situation we find ourselves nílùú yìí. Tó wá láwọn olórí tó ní tìjú. Láwọn olórí tó bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. Láwọn olórí tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ aráàlú. Àwọn tá a ní làwọn tó àwọn atọ́nijẹ olórí tí wọ́n á tọ̀ wá gba ìbò lọ́wọ́ wa. Wọ́n sọ èkúsà lù wá ńgbà tán bá gbàgbó wa tán. Wọ́n ṣe bí ipa wọn ò mọ̀ wá rí. Mọyì èèyàn tó ń sá lọ lójoojúmọ́. Ẹ lọ sí America Embassy ní Nàìjíríà yìí. Ẹ lọ sí America Embassy. Ọ̀nà bí méjì ló wà lÉkòó. Ọ̀nà méjèèjì ẹ̀ lè rọ́nà gbà. Ẹni tí ń súnbẹ̀ látọ̀sẹ̀ kan wà ń bẹ̀. Torí pé ó fẹ́ gbà físà ó sàfẹ́ kú òun nira yìí. Yet tìjú ọmọ 61 years tó tọ́jú family ẹ̀ tì. Ìyá 61 years tí ò lè ṣoúnjẹ fọ́mọ. We are 61 years in poverty. We are 61 years in there is no security. We cannot celebrate 24 hours of fully light. That lẹ́ni o iná ò tiẹ̀ ṣẹ́jú for 24 hours. Kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí láti bí 90s. Tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bàlú ìjẹ́ celebrate 24 hours mọ́. Kódà tẹ́ bá dá lé iṣẹ́ lẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn tún máa fi fọ́ọ̀mù ni wípé generator wà ń bẹ̀, generating plant, standby generator. Maintenance of business in this country is very very high. Àìmọye companies tó ti sá lọ. Volvo èmi gbọ́njúmọ̀ Nàìjíríà ni. Bata mo gbọ́njúmọ̀ wọn Nàìjíríà ni. Dollar Pellet mo gbọ́njúmọ̀ wọn ní Nàìjíríà ni. Peugeot mo gbọ́njúmọ̀ wọn ní Nàìjíríà ni. TUC mo gbọ́njúmọ̀ wọn ní Nàìjíríà ni. BUTC dẹ̀ lọ jẹ́ ni. Àwọn oríṣiríṣi big companies. Nígbà tí owó wa wà òkè, tí nǹkan wà òkè, táwọn olórí dáadáa ń ṣèlú Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo wọn wá establish síbí láìpẹ́ wọn. Àwa láti Ibì kan wà ìlú Dubai tẹ̀wọ̀ yẹn, àwọn ni wọ́n sọ fún companies àgbàyìnláyè establish àgbàyìnláyè ìlú wa, company ló tún bẹ Dubai government báwọn fẹ́ wá establish sílùú wọn. Company sá lọ Nàìjíríà ni o. Àwọn Nestle tán sì dúró. Ẹ lọ bí wọ́n pé èlò ni wọ́n fi manufacture, èlò ni Nestle fi produce tẹ́lẹ̀, èlò ni wọ́n fi produce ìsìn. Bonfita, Nestle, gbogbo wọn. Volkswagen ò sí Nàìjíríà mọ́, ti sá lọ. Peugeot ò sí Nàìjíríà mọ́, wọ́n ti sá lọ. Because there is no good power supply. Good road is not there. Hardly will you see a Nigerian road that is motorable. And yet we are celebrating 61 years. Gbogbo àwọn yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká fún oúnjẹ ńkọ́ oúnjẹ. Ọmọ Nàìjíríà mélòó ló lè proud of 3 square meal in a day. Báwa ṣe wà yóò ọkàn wa balẹ̀ oúnjẹ. Bó o bá dánwó ẹ̀ wò, family ò ní jó gbádùn. Torí bí tí wọ́n ti rí jà tí ò rí jà ìmọ̀ye. There are a lot of graduates out there tó ń fẹsẹ̀ gbálẹ̀ kiri, tó ń wáṣẹ́. And yet we are celebrating 61 years. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń ṣe wájú wípé ìkówapọ̀ yẹn ò work. The union is not working. I must confess to you. The union is not working. That is why táwọn northerners fi ríra wọn as olórí. Nítorí pé ó fi sọ́dọ̀ tiwọn. Ó fi gan sọ́dọ̀ tiwọn. Gbogbo resources wà lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Wọ́n ti mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ the minority. Fídíò tí mo gbé wá lánàá. Ṣé ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí màá yẹn sọ bóyá caption àbí kí ló ń jẹ́? Ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tó sọ pé these people are minority. Wọ́n wá mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ lọ create state tó pọ̀ síra wọn lọ́dọ̀ so that they can be ruling the majority. Àwọn nǹkan tí landlord Abuja ò fẹ́ gbọ́ ni tó fi sọ pé gbogbo ẹni tó bá ti ń sọ hate speech àwọn máa gbé. This is the bitter truth the man is not ready to listen to. And he has to. For him to find solution to the problem at hand, he needs to listen to all these things. Láàárọ̀ yìí, àwọn èèyàn jí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ rally. Wọ́n náà ṣe tèkó successfully. Ṣùgbọ́n t'Àbújá wọ́n lọ da tear gas sí wọn lára kí ló dé. Ṣebí rally ni wọ́n ṣe tán l'Amẹ́ríkà tàrí yẹn. I've never seen any situation tí any policeman arrest anybody. Tàbí tí wọ́n lọ da tear gas sí wọn lára. It happens in Abuja this morning. Wọ́n ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ successfully. Ó dẹ̀ wùn mí káwọ́ bí tèkó yẹ ṣe lọ. Wọ́n ṣe ní Freedom Park. Mò ń bọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo. Kódà wọ́n tún ṣe l'Óṣogbo ní Ọ̀ṣun State. Mò ń bọ̀.
Orúkọ mi ni Jimoh Muideen aka Silent. Gbogbo wa mo ṣe pé a níṣẹ́ àbí kò ní nǹkan tí ó ká máa ṣe lọ́jọ́ tòní. Bọ̀ kí ni kúrì nǹkan tá à ń ṣe àjáde látàárọ̀ tá a lè make $1 lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Kí ni kúrì iṣẹ́ tá a lọ ṣe tí a lè bọ́ ìyàwó àtọmọ wa nílé? Kí ni kúrì jáde tá a jáde tí a ṣe wàhálà bí ẹrú láti àárọ̀ títí di alẹ́ tá a tún lè fìdí wa ara wa àti fámìlì wa? Òbí tó jìyà lórí wa lówó pé lásìkò táwa wà báyìí àwọn alẹ́ ọkà máa bọ́ àwọn òbí wa náà sì tún kiri pure water láti fi support àwa àtàwọn ìyàwó wa torí sọfọ́nẹ́ẹ̀tì tí àwọn ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tó ń fún wa. Kí ló dé tí a bí wa sí inú ìlú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà táwa ń gbé ní ìgbé ẹrú? Kí ló dé tí a ń fi àjẹ aláìṣẹ̀? Kí ló dé tí ọlọ́pàá máa mú ẹ nítorí àtijẹ àtìyàwó tirẹ̀ àti àwọn ọmọ tirẹ̀ pé pé ìjọba ò ṣe ẹ̀tọ́ tí ọkàn ṣe lórí òun náà? Ó dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wá living fún àwọn family tiẹ̀ because agbára wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ láti lò lórí ìwọ just merely citizen torí pé ìjọba ò kí ẹ̀ fún ẹ. Kí ló dé tó yẹ pé ẹ̀mí aráàlú gangan òun ni ìjọba fẹ́ gbà láti survive?
Ìdí tẹ́ ṣe ń ṣèwọ́de ní àbí?
Òun ni ìdí tí a fi jáde lẹ́nu. Èmi tí ẹ̀ ń wò yìí ọmọ tàpátá ti ṣe ní èmi náà. Àwa náà wò ó pé àfẹ́sẹ̀ nǹkan tí ò dá lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà dandan ní ká ṣiṣẹ́. Gbogbo ìgbìyànjú wa náà láti máa ṣiṣẹ́ láti tó àwọn ọmọ wa àtàwọn òbí wa. Pàbó ni àwọn ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà jẹ́ kó máa já sí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi for example sí àti mo wà ní secondary school. Èmi náà ní ìpinnu láti lọ sí ilé ìwé gíga ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ó ti àgbà fáwọn òbí mi mi ò lè lọ sí secondary school lọ mo dẹ̀ ní ìpinnu láti mú àwọn ọmọ mi ṣùgbọ́n ẹ wo bí nǹkan ṣe wọ́n ẹ wo bí ìgbà yẹn ṣe rí èló lówó oúnjẹ tó ń fún mi lọ sílé ìwé ńgbà náà 7 naira ọmọ mi àkọ́bí tí ò bá jẹun 350 láàárọ̀ kó tó lọ sí school dáàdì àná fáìn ni mo ò dẹ́gbọ́dọ̀ má tẹ ọmọ mi lọ́rùn tó ní mo fẹ́ ṣe kó ṣe nǹkan tí ò dáa ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ṣàlàyé fún wa gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wọn ti olè yahoo boy olè kidnappers wọn lórílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà torí pé nígbà tí ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè máa ti ń ja àwọn aráàlú lólè tí wọ́n affect economic nàìjíríà ló wọ́n affect òbí kankan nínú yàrá tó jẹ́ pé tó bá dé tí affect òbí kankan ní orí inú yàrá wọn ò nípa lórí ọmọ láti tọ́ ọmọ wa ń di ọmọ ọ̀tá ó wá ń di jàgùdà ó ń di olè kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan tí ò dáa tó láwọn pé ìjọba ọ̀run wà ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti bà gbogbo ẹ̀ jẹ́ torí fámílì àti ara tiwọn oríṣiríṣi àwọn ọmọ ti di nǹkan tí ò dáa tán sí gbòòrò ọlọ́pàá tó yẹ pé àwọn ilé ọkàn jẹ́ olùdáàbòbò fún aráàlú àwọn gangan lólùbáyé jẹ́ olùfìyàjẹ aráàlú torí pé àwọn náà gangan ìjọba ò tọ́jú wọn tó torí owó.
kí ni ẹ wá ń fẹ́ kí ìjọba ṣe báyìí.
ìjọba tí a fẹ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà báyìí ni wípé àwa a fẹ́ máa gbé bí ẹrú lórílẹ̀-èdè wa kì í ṣe orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà torí pé a mọ̀ pé orílẹ̀-èdè tí a borí wa sọlẹ̀ sí lélẹ́yìí àdẹ̀lẹ̀ dínà nàìjíríà tó pọ̀mọ̀ nàìjíríà kò ní kọ́ ní wa àdẹ̀ máa jàjàǹgbara tí a fi máa gba òmìnira àwa fẹ́ kó nínú ìnira tí àwọn kan ṣe àjọyọ̀ rẹ̀ lẹ́nu abẹ́ sọ di òní abẹ́ kó nínú táwọn kan ṣe àjọyọ̀ lẹ́nu di òmìnira fún àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀ nàìjíríà láti lè gbé ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn torí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ tó tún bọ̀ lẹ́yìn náà wọ́n lè gbé ìgbésí ayé ìrọ̀rùn kí ló dé ẹ sọ $1 $1 is $1 $1 $1 is our own 600 naira in our country. We are not living fine, my brother. We have to fight for our freedom. Ìjọba máa pa wá láìtọ́ kò ní sí justice. Ọmọ olówó ó ń fi ọwọ́ ọlá gbọ́ ọmọ táníkà lára. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan náà ló wọ́n fún bẹ́ẹ̀ wa. Ọmọ ènìyàn jẹ́ ní gbogbo wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ìjọba Buhari mọ̀ ló gbé àti ọkọ̀ ìgbà ìwọ̀n. Bẹ́ẹ̀ Buhari máa lọ wá kó òkú ẹrú. Ṣùgbọ́n Buhari gan gbogbo ó tún wá sọ wá sí inú ẹrú náà mọ̀. Ó wá fi ṣé lójú kan fún wa. Àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ já sẹ́kọ̀ òwò wa. Àbá òbọ̀lọ̀ jìyà. Abẹ́ tó yọ ọmọ ẹrú láti ìyọ̀. Revolution now. Alaka continue. We are going to fight for our freedom.
We are democracy period. Democracy period. So Nigeria don't have any right to be beating us, harassing us anyhow. We are very radio and television. For what reason? For what reason? Where are we collecting the money from? Radio and television. I went to the market and buy my radio and my television. They are asking me to pay for it. One per a year. What is the meaning of that? That Nigeria to stop this rubbish. We don't need it anymore.
Àwọn lọ́nà àwọn ṣe independent àwọn ló ń gbádùn wọ́n wà ń lẹ́sì wọ́n jẹ tọ́kí wọ́n jẹ gbogbo ẹ̀ àwọn wà nù nira àríkọ̀jẹ ebi pa wá àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọn ṣe independent láti ndc ìtàlẹ̀ òmìnira òmìnira yẹn ó wà tó òmìnira láti gbé ẹ̀ títí ti sàtìkò yìí gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti wọ́n gàrí wọn àtàwọn gàrí epo wọn kò sí tí ò wọ́n ó jẹ́ bá ti dìde gbogbo ẹ̀ wá di pé àwọn bọ́ìsì tó yẹ kó máa lọ léèwé ìbí ìkọ̀kadà ìbí máa wá ìbí ìtúnṣe kí ni wọ́n rí wọ́n ti ọmọ ọ̀tá sí kọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ báwo lọ́mọ ọ̀tá òṣè ní pọ̀ nígbà tí iṣẹ́ òsì tó jẹ́ pé oúnjẹ kò sóúnjẹ láti jẹ gbogbo àwọn yìí ebi pa wá ó ti tó gẹ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ìjọba Buhari.
Buhari stop this rubbish. We don't need you anymore.
ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́gbọ́n yẹn láti ẹnu àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe ìwọ́de lónìí ní Ọjọ́ta ní ìlú Èkó níbi tí wọ́n ti sọ wípé bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní kò tí àwọn lọ́rùn wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ àtúntò wọ́n ní ìyà tó ń jẹ wọ́n ó ti tó kó wọn fẹ́ mọ́ wọ́n ní kí ìjọba wá wọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀ fi ṣàdá pé kí ìjọba wá nǹkan ṣe sí bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ Nàìjíríà kí ayé lè dẹrùn fún gbogbo mùtúmùwà gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣesọ ṣáájú wípé agbègbè Ọjọ́ta ni a wà nílùú Èkó níbi tí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kan tí wọ́n ń fi ara wọn ní Revolution Now níbi tí wọ́n ti ṣèwọ́de lónìí tó jẹ́ àyájọ́ ọdún kọkànlélọ́gọ́ta tí nàìjíríà gba òmìnira lọ́wọ́ ìjọba ìsìnrú tí nàìjíríà dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. Nígbà tí ìwọ́de yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀, àwọn ọlọ́pàá, àwọn agbófinró, àwọn náà ni ẹ̀ ń wò yẹn, àwọn bíi 15 sí 20, àwọn náà wá síbi tá a wà yìí láti wá fojú gan ní ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, láti rí dájú pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ó yẹ kó lọ bó ṣe lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé ìjàmbá kankan ò ṣẹlẹ̀. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá wọn ti wà níbí, wọn ò tí ì lọ. Àwọn olùwọ́de náà, àwọn náà ṣì wà níbí, wọ́n sì fi èròǹgbà wọn léde, wọ́n sì ń sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ kí ìjọba wá nǹkan ṣe sí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ kí ìjọba tú ìlú ṣe, wọ́n ní oúnjẹ ti wọ́n, wọ́n ní pé ètò ààbò wọ́n ní ó ti mẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ kí ìjọba kó ṣe ohun tó tọ́ fáráàlú, kí gbogbo èèyàn kan lè máa gbé ní ayọ̀ àti àlàáfíà.
Okay, our people, we they bring on another live broadcast all the way from Ojota, Lagos, where some young people come out this morning to march, to protest as Nigeria they celebrate her 61st independence. Today, now October 1 for Nigeria will be the Independence Day for Nigeria. Just like so many they celebrate the Independence Day, this group of youths come out, say they know they celebrate anything, say then they verse, say they want change in government, then they protest against insecurity, poverty, food price hike, increase in VAT, increase in electricity cost, increase in fuel price hike, and all that. All these young people gather for Ojota, Lagos. Just as this particular protest they go on here in Lagos, now so it also happened about a few hours ago for Abuja. It happened, and we have say some other states they host similar protest. But we did here for Lagos, and as we talk, police don't come to tell them, make them stop the process. As you can see, police full everywhere, and they tell them, say make them come up from the area, so they know make the protest continue. And that is the situation of things for here now. So we got to follow the protest from here down till the end of the protest, until whenever the protest go end, and we will see how it take happen. The last time something similar happened for this Ojota, Lagos. Now the day where bullet hit one young girl that they call Jumoke. Jumoke, na young girl wey come to where they her shop when bullet hit her, a sales girl for that matter. Now protests don't come here again, but this one different from that one what happened that day. So we'll still be here, follow them, they ground. That's the leader of the team from police. He don't instruct them, say they have to disperse these protesters, since he don't talk to them and they don't want disperse. Therefore, they have to use force to disperse them. But as we talk, the young people don't decide to move from this particular location to another location. As you can see, they already move to this other location. Let me talk to one of them to give us a brief of waiting. Make them a protest. What's up?
So they don't move a bit away from the police to another location to continue the protest, but as I talk to you, police don't march, follow them, they come this area where the march come. So you can see police people that side. All of them follow them, they walk come this area where they don't march go. Police, they insist they must disperse the protest. They know what made the protest hold, but these people, they insist the protest must hold. Now they still gather here. The police is still coming close. So who's going to talk to me? Why are you protesting? Tell me exactly why you're protesting. Yeah, speak.
I'm protesting because you have to go to Nigeria. I'm suffer. I want to work for one more. This is about to be 6,000 back. Everybody, we are hungry. They will kill our people. Hungry. No lights, no roads, no anything, no education, no hospital. We are hungry. They're not hungry, not this hungry. They are not border. One not border. Too much border can't get away. I want to know that they can't very be social local. What's the name of our Bubu? So they can't tell me. Come on, come on, social local. Come on, she border can't get away. Come on, you can't tell. I want you to cook.
Because enough is enough. You are suffering. Every day by day, everything is always cost. All the gari, this, semo, everything don't cost. Students, they don't turn to terrorists. They don't turn to thugs. When we work okay. Me like this now, I have shop before. Now they come to place where to get shop. I thought they were up and down. Is this okay? The song is too much.
Today we are celebrating the 51 of independence. Nigeria people, are we truly independent? Are we truly independent? The truth of the matter is that we are in bondage. The people that is yet to be free is not yet independent. What happened in 1960 was a change in the color of our colonial masters. Formerly our colonial masters were white people. But now, our colonial masters are our people. So So we are not independent at all. We are far from being independent. An independent country in a sane society will respect the rule of law. An independent country will respect fundamental human rights. An independent country will find a way to end the raging insecurity. An independent country will find a lasting solution to unemployment. An independent country will ensure that the level of hunger, certain penury, and excruciating poverty in this country will be put to an end. But we are so unlucky in Nigeria. We are so unfortunate to be led by a set of callous, irresponsible, and very terrible, brutal set of individuals. We are saying enough is enough to the madness of those people in power. Enough. It is enough. Enough. We have been treated for too long, and that is why we are coming out. We are not intimidated by the presence of security officers. We are not intimidated by the shenanigans of the political leadership of this country. We are focused, and our message is simple. We cannot get freedom unless and until we have a government that works for all. The leadership of our country works for the few. It works for the few political elites. We are saying at this juncture that on this day that we say we are celebrating independence, we cannot continue to tell the lies to ourselves. Nigeria is not independent at all. We are in bondage of poverty, bondage of misrule, bondage of bad governance, bondage of insecurity, bondage of terrible infrastructure, bondage of unemployment. At this juncture, Nigeria is rising up. Nigeria is saying enough is enough. Nigeria does not belong to the chiefs in power. Nigeria belongs to the Nigerian people. And no matter how they try, they can never break us. Greatest Nigerian people! Nigerian people! Ever conscious Nigerian people! Ever resilient Nigerian people! We don't go green. We don't go green. We know the war. Now the war. Every family who yẹ ká nínú. Fún àǹfààní àwọn bàbá wa àtàwọn ìyá wa tó wà nítòsí, tọ́jú ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Àwa Nàìjíríà sì làwa, ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ni wá. Gbogbo nǹkan ló wọ́n. Àwa sọ pé èyí tó ń pè ní ọjọ́ òmìnira, àwa rí ibi pé kò sómìnira rárá. Èyí nìyẹn ta ṣe jáde láti fẹ̀hónú hàn. Àwa rí pé ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ yẹn pọ̀ débi pé a ti gbàdúrà kò dúró. Àwọn ọmọ rò pé ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni láti jáde láti pe àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn ká pè wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí wípé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti wó tán o. Kó má jẹ́ kó wó tán pátápátá. Àwọn ń fi ránṣẹ́ sí wọn pé a fẹ́ ogun. Àwọn ń sọ pé gbogbo bá ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan which is system. Tá a ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan tó ṣe ń mọ́lẹ̀ tó ṣe ń mú àwọn ajínigbé. Àwọn sọ pé kò ń ṣe system tó favour wa. System tó allow wípé kí wọ́n fi ajínigbé sílẹ̀. Tó allow wípé kí presidency sọ pé kí bandit kí wọ́n fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Tó allow wípé kí wọ́n fi kidnapper sílẹ̀. Tó wá sọ pé kó máa arrest àwọn tó ń fẹ̀hónú hàn, àwọn ajìjàgbara. Kò kí ń ṣe system tó lè jẹ́ kí orílẹ̀-èdè wa tẹ̀síwájú. Àwọn fẹ́ wípé kí wọ́n tẹ́tí sílẹ̀ gbọ́ nǹkan tí ìlú ń sọ. Àwọn aráàlú ló dìbò fún wọn. Àwọn aráàlú jẹ́ ń bínú o. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn kò yẹ kó dìbò fún o. Ẹbí tó ń pa wọ́n ló jẹ́ kó gbẹ̀gún jẹ o. Àwọn sọ pé káwọn aráàlú stop láti máa gbẹ̀gún jẹ. Ẹ má dìbò fún wọn mọ́ o. Àwọn sọ pé gbogbo ìpànìyàn yẹn wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ stop ẹ̀. There are a lot of people that are homeless in this country. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ò nílé lórí. Àwọn ajínigbé ti lé wọn. Àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí ti lé wọn. Wọn ò nílé lórí mọ́. IDP náà wà níbi tí wọ́n kó wọn sí. Níbi tí wọ́n ò ní good access to good health. Wọn ò ní access to good education. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ wa tó wà lóòkè ọya tọ́jọ́ lọ kéékèèké ni ò fẹ́ lọ ilé ìwé mọ́. Wọn ò fẹ́ lọ ilé ìwé mọ́ pé wọn. Àwa ń pe ìjọba, à ń kí wọn nílọ̀. Tó bá kí wọ́n di pé ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn ò lọ ilé ìwé mọ́. Ó ní ìfẹ́ àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí. Wọ́n máa ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn láti pè mọ́ra nìyẹn láti lè bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́.
àwọn ń sọ pé kí ìjọba kí wọ́n rise up sí responsibility wọn ẹ̀tọ́ wọn ni kó dìde àfẹ́ mọ́ báyẹn fẹ́ ṣe o àwa wà lẹ́yìn wọn láti ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí aráàlú information tó bá yẹ ká fún wọn a máa fún wọn in fact wọ́n ti ẹ̀ ní more than enough information àwọn ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá àwọn ọ̀gá DSSS wọ́n mọ àwọn tó ń gbé sùnmọ̀ mi wọ́n ti mú wọn dáadáa tó ní kó fi wọlé wọ́n mọ̀ àwọn fẹ́ kí wọ́n lo àwọn security ta ni wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ lè ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn tó bá fún wọn ní support kò yẹ ká ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa léyàn káàkiri láwọn ìlú tó develop drones that is what they use to secure our borders are porous wọ́n ń kóbọ̀ wọlé lójoojúmọ́ ẹjọ́ níbo ló ń gbà wọlé a ní security agency tó tó lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí láti secure orílẹ̀‐èdè àwa ń pè wọ́n jáde a dẹ̀ sọ pé afẹ́yẹ́kọ́ arrest situation àwọn èèyàn òríṣẹ́ ṣe gbogbo ọ̀nà táwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ìlú ti bàjẹ́ tán gbogbo ọ̀nà táwọn bàbá wa tó ṣe kò sí federal road tó wà ní country yìí tó dáa you get it so àwa ń pè wọ́n pé responsibility wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí olórí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí pé kí wọ́n ṣe ṣùgbọ́n tó bá wá kọ̀ táwọn ṣe o àwọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ìlú a máa gbàdúrà pé kó orílẹ̀-èdè yìí dáa àwa ní gbàdúrà nìkan o lóòrèkóòrè a máa jáde láti fẹ̀hónú hàn àwa determined débi pé tọ́lọ́pàá bá kó ogun wa yìí àwọn míì àtújáde tó bá yá tó bá tún kó wọn àwọn míì àtújáde finally abẹ́rù àwọn ọlọ́pàá àtàwọn agbófinró tó wà ń bí àmọ́ pé iṣẹ́ wọn náà ṣe àwa síbí láti wá ṣe jàgídíjàgan o nǹkan tó dáa fún wọn ni pé kó yan àwọn tó lè secure wa so that food law mo ní hijack ẹ̀ kán dẹ̀ ra máa tẹ̀lé wa while we continue our protest.
àwọn rallies yẹn bọ́n ṣe lọlẹ̀ rí yẹn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ mo ti ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí wọ́n ń ṣe live lọ́wọ́ ní UK bí ti UK yẹn bó bá ṣe lọ ní mo ti ń kálẹ̀ bó bá ṣe lọ mìíràn àtún post ẹ̀ tún wo ti UK náà. If Adibin we have a listening government, this is the high time fún wọn láti listen láti amend. Kàn jókòó, you should sit back and think. Ẹ̀yin executive mi ẹ wá níbo láti ṣìná. Lẹ́yìn House of Reps àwọn náà nǹkan tí National Assembly sọ bóyá jẹ tàbí jẹrin pé kí wọ́n proscribe bandits as terrorist group àti Miyetti Allah. House of Reps náà tó ti dìde mọ́ wọn báyìí àwọn náà tún sọ pé dandan they should proscribe that Miyetti Allah of a thing of a group as terrorist group and the bandits ẹ gbàgbé ẹ má pè wọ́n bandits mọ́ they are nothing but a terrorist wọ́n gbé ẹni ẹlẹ́ni wọ́n ìbí tán máa bá sùn ìbí tán máa gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ìtàn máa ṣe léṣe láìṣẹ̀ láìrò àìmọye ilé tí wọ́n ti sọ dáhóró ẹlòmíì kọ́lé ẹ̀ tuntun tán wọ́n lọ bẹ̀ lọ jí gbé àfìgbà tí wọ́n ta ilé yẹn tí wọ́n fi gba tó fi san ransom láti gbálẹ̀ ìmíì tí wọn ò rí tọ́rọ̀ rí àwọn ẹbí ẹ̀ contact wọ́n á pa lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ síbẹ̀ ni ẹ wá ní bandits kan ni wọ́n. These people are not bandits, they are terrorists, nothing but terrorists. The act is an act of terrorism. National Assembly náà tó ti béèrè ẹ wo orin.
Specific, but I guess the committees will.
The Green Chamber is scanty as lawmakers settle down for the last plenary session of the week. Two motions of urgent public importance are raised, one of which toes the line of the Senate, calling for the proscription of bandits as terrorists.
This will underline the determination of the government to combat the wave of criminality and murders conducted by bandits all over the country. The declaration of bandits as terrorists can be done through a proscription order. That will serve as added impetus for our brave security personnel to redouble their efforts at dealing with this menace.
With this position by both chambers of the National Assembly, it would seem that lawmakers have had it up to their necks after daily debates on issues of insecurity, especially banditry, in recent times. Meanwhile, the attention of the House is also drawn to another matter of urgent public importance on the need to investigate an alleged incessant abuse and disregard of the 2021 Appropriation Act by ministries, departments and agencies of government.
Take for instance, a project is in an agency, an MDA.
somebody goes there to say, okay, listen, I heard that 40% has been released across board, and a project that I have in this agency is not being kick-started. And the agency goes on to say, look, we have not received any money from the ministry. And the facts are there that across board, even without tagging, that monies have been released, and yet agency is claiming that they've not released it.
The budget of the National Assembly of the government is a blueprint of what the government seeks to do and its priority areas. If you divert those monies to other projects, it's clearly economic sabotage. The budget will be presented in the next couple of weeks, where we're going to suspend plenary and do our work. But between now and then, we need to have a clear understanding of what has happened to this motion.
The House mandates all its committees to thoroughly investigate the agencies they supervise, while also mandating its Finance and Appropriation committees to specifically liaise with the Finance Ministry to ascertain the releases to government agencies in compliance with the 2021 Appropriation Act.
Our National Assembly náà náà tó sọ tí wọ́n yìí. Oníkálukú sọ lọ́tùn lósì tá a bá ní listening government. And that is why the Yorubanation said they want to go. There's nothing, no solution to this problem than we should separate. I support it because I saw it from the beginning that this is the only solution to our problem. Atobi, Atipoju, and the ìran kan fẹ́ kí ìran kan máa ṣerú òun in tó bí èmi nú gan jù nìyẹn láyé. Báwo ni ìran kan ṣe máa bá mú ìran kan lẹ́rú? We can never be slaves in our father's land. It's not possible. Why will you be enslaving us compulsorily? Ọdún mẹ́rin tó ọdún méjì péré tó kù fún wọn ìnísìn ó ti dùn mọ́ wọn láwọn ò lọ mọ́. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ tún dúnkokò máwọn èèyàn ẹ wá ní kínú má bí wọn kí wọ́n má lọ níbi tí security yẹn worst dé nílùú yìí. The current minister Minister of Defence, General Bashiru Magashi, yes, mo gba ó dà kó orúkọ ẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. General Bashiru Magashi, fídíò kan wà bí kódà mo rẹ́rìn gbà wo fídíò yẹn. Òun kan gbé ìbọn báyìí sápá rìn ni, ó ní ọlọ́pàá tó ń ṣọ́ òun kan tún wá fi AK-43 AK-47 wà bí kílẹ̀ pé ó tún fi kápá báyìí kó tó wọ mọ́tò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni bá máa yìnbọn fún bèbí náà lè dá padà. A whole minister for defence. Fídíò tí mò ń wí rèé. That is our Minister for Defence in Nigeria. Ẹ wò bọ́n. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, what are we defending? Mo sọ lánàá. Mo ní kódà ẹni tó ń já eléètò ààbò ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n ń jí òun gan gbé. They do go to army barracks. They go to police station base. Kò sí tó kàn wọ́n. Àwọn ẹni yóò wọ́n free. Wọ́n ṣe because the government of the day wọ́n ò rí aburú nù tán ṣe. Zulum sọ̀rọ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí. Mo rí kà láàárọ̀ yìí pé Zulum sọ pé àwọn kan ni wọ́n jẹ́ kí àwọn kan ni wọ́n lé àwọn bandits sínú inú ìwà tán wù yẹn. Àwọn kan ni wọ́n lé wọn síbẹ̀. They are innocent. Irú yẹn náà rìn nílùú tó lọ́ba tó níjòyè. Ó ń sọ tóhun, ó ń ṣe tóhun. Ayédè ń wò ó. Kò sí tá a lè ṣe sí adé ń wò bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn governors wọ́n sign kí náà pé bíìlì kúwé kan ban open grazing, banning of open grazing. Àwọn Fúlàní ní kan mórí wá kan fọrùn lẹ̀. Inú mi dùn láti sọ fún wa pé governor kan náà tó ti sign ẹ̀ báyìí, Governor Dapo Abiodun láti Ogun State. Àwọn náà ti buwọ́lù àsàtànà. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ti fẹ́ buwọ́lù tán. Nígbà tó ní kálukú bá buwọ́lù tán, ẹ jẹ́ á wò kí ló fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀. Governor Dapo Abiodun.
we thought it wise and necessary to ensure that we protect everybody's business. Those that are in the business of farming, those that are in the business of selling cows to provide the required beef and protein ingredient in our diets. And that is why, to that extent, we've signed this bill into law. So what will this bill achieve, having signed it into law today? I'm sure that very soon you will be availed with the details and the content of the bill. But summarily, what this would now start is a process and a transition period, which is a period of 6 months within which anyone who wishes to engage in that business of selling cattle will now be required to apply for permits that will allow them to set up different ranches where they can bring their cattle to, and those that wish to buy the cows can go there and purchase the cows. After that transition period, it will become illegal for anyone to be rearing cattle or such animals on the streets or anywhere around in the state, except in confined enclosures as stipulated by the law that has been passed by the House of Assembly and also assented to by me. So this is what this intends to do. Again, these are issues that border on security of lives and livelihood of our people. We want to ensure that we continue to manage the peace that we enjoy today. Ogun State is the industrial capital of this country. We are the gateway to the rest of the country. We believe that this is going to go a long way into helping us in managing that peace that we enjoy.
Àwọn náà ti buwọ́lù sí kí wọ́n tún pe Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún náà ní wèrè kàgbọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n bó ṣe ń buwọ́lù yìí, ẹ̀yin governors ibẹ̀ ṣe ń buwọ́lù yìí, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa bá wa enforce. Ẹni Fúlàní tó bá ní tó kó ẹran òṣì kankan jẹ́ kó arrest ẹ̀ tẹ́rọ̀tẹ́rọ̀. Let heaven force. Ìlú yín ni ẹ̀yin lẹ láṣẹ nílùú yín. President ò lè bá a ṣe Ògùn state. President ò lè ṣe Ọ̀ṣun state, kò lè ṣe Ọ̀yọ́ state. Báwo la ṣe máa ṣe nǹkan bí tó yẹ pé nìkan ló máa control wa? Inú mi dẹ̀ dùn, Akérédolú ti sọ̀rọ̀ láàárọ̀ inú speech táwọn sọ. Wọ́n ní this is the high time for us to ká gbàgbé centralism where centralize security ojú kan ló gbọ́dọ̀ wà rárá. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan take care security ìlú ẹ̀. Give the governors láyé ìgbà kan, the governors they have that authority to order around the security officers in their state. It is no more like that. Àwọn governors ò lè pàṣẹ fọ́lọ́pàá kọ́lọ́pàá gbọ́mọ́. Wọ́n lè pàṣẹ fáwọn àmì kan gbọ́mọ́. Wọ́n ṣe tó kódà DSS, the list of them all, DSS, kò sí ọlọ́pàá, kò sí state governor kan tó lè control it. It is only federal. Ṣebí state security ni wọ́n jẹ́. White governors ò lè pàṣẹ fún SSS. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbàgbé D tí wọ́n fi sí ń sìn. Their SSS, State Security Services ni wọ́n. Then in the state they are, why are they not securing it? Why is it that it's only Abuja they attend to? They are answerable to only Abuja. Why? Kí ló dé tí governors ò lè bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ kan gbọ́? Governor lè control ọlọ́pàá, governor lè control army. Adé sọ pé ṣé Abuja náà ti fẹ́ máa bá a secure state wa ni? Akérédolú sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn láàárọ̀ yìí pé it's better. This is the right time. Let us sit down and find solution to all these problems. But nítorí pé ẹni tó jó lórí wa, ó support àwọn ẹni tó dey call. He sees them as just business group. It's adamant to even proscribe them. Àwọn tí ó ṣẹ̀ tí ó rò ni wọ́n wá win chant kiri. We've seen who sponsor Sunday Igboho. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo ta ni tọ̀hún ká gbọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ wo National Assembly member tó máa mú jáde but kí wọ́n máa mú àwọn tí wọ́n sponsor Boko Haram àtàwọn tó sponsor bandits kan máa mú wọn jáde. Wọ́n mú àwọn obìnrin kan láìpẹ́ yìí àwọn yẹn tí wọ́n báàgì ni wọ́n fi ń gbé petrol tí wọ́n fi lọ supply fáwọn bandits nínú àwọn Fúlàní ẹgbẹ́ wọn náà ni gbogbo òṣì tí ò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́dún 2 ọdún 5 ọdún 6 sẹ́yìn gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ di dúdúrú jágbàjàgbà mọye tí dọ́là dà at 61 years nílùú kan ṣòyìn náà ṣá ni àwọn ìlú progress tí wọ́n ní àwa ń digress ni àwa ń regress à ń padà sẹ́yìn ni. Mo rántí pé ńgbà bàbá mi lọ sí Mọ́kà wọ́n sọ fún mi pé àwọn ra ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ pádì ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ kan àwọn rà ní 2 riyal. I can remember that time since 1978 ni bàbá yẹn ti sọ pé wọ́n ra ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ kan èlò lẹ́wọ́n ní 2 riyal. Ní ìgbà tẹ́mi lọ ní 2017 mo rà ní the same 2 riyal. Mọye tá rà nǹkan ní 1978 mọye tá rà ní 2017 mọye tá wá rà sí. It is only in Nigeria lẹ́tí máa rírú àwọn nǹkan yìí. We are rich but we are poor. Tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ rich but poor Nigeria ni. Because that wealth is concentrated within some communities, within some groups. They sit down, they share the wealth, and they forget about those that are generating the wealth. In content, the chicken that lays the golden egg, you're supposed to take care of it. Or what man priest, don't share owó yẹn, ó yẹ kí wọ́n tọ́jú owó yẹn. Òṣìṣẹ́ mélòó ló lè proud wípé àṣàtúwẹ́ deal lòun gba salary òun tó bá tiẹ̀ gbà síṣẹ́ rárá. Àwọn tó yẹ kó contribute sí labor force, they are there, out there, they become criminals. Cybercrime Nigeria ló pọ̀ sí jù. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ti di yahoo tán when they don't have anything to do and they have the brain is there. Lára àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe yahoo yìí first class ó dá wà láàrin wọn. Ó náà fẹ́ yàwó fẹ́ bímọ. He support wọn o because they are criminals. But the situation whereby you don't give them something to do, they will turn to criminals. Àwọn mọ́kàwé tó wọn ríṣẹ́ fi ṣe. Ẹ lọ wo private schools káàkiri, you see graduates there collecting 10,000 naira per month. A whole graduate, kí ló lọ léèwé fún? A ní kóun sá tiẹ̀ máa rí bí gbà. Kóun máa jáde ilé kó mọ̀ kóun jáde ilé láàárọ̀ òun wọlé lálẹ́, a máa lọ ṣiṣẹ́ 10,000 ṣe 20,000 ní Nàìjíríà tàwa yìí. 20,000 naira is not up to $1. It's not, it's not up to $100 now. Because as at $1 is now 580 naira. 580 times 20. Elowani times 100. That's 58,000. Ọmọ èèyàn kan dẹ̀ gba $20. So what $200 per day? For the oṣù kan dẹ̀ ní ló gba 20,000 yẹn. Kì í ṣe jọ́ kan. This is the situation we find ourselves, and yet we say we are celebrating. Celebrating what? Do we have to celebrate or we have to be money? This is the kind of situation we find ourselves. Irú bita bara wa ni la ṣe ń sọ pé àwọn tí wọ́n láwọn fẹ́ lọ fi wọ́n lẹ̀ jẹ́ kan kí gbẹ́yẹ́ nílùú yìí tó lè settle. Ẹ jẹ́ kó owó tó ní kálukú ń pa kó fojú ara ẹni kó dẹ̀ máa establish it judiciously. You will see what will happen. Ìlú mẹ́fà péré ló jẹ́ United Arab Emirates. Kódà Dubai tó lórúkọ jù nú wọn òun kọ́ ní capital, Abu Dhabi ní capital. But nítorí pé n tó ní kálukú pa wọ́n fi ń jórúkọ bàbá wọn ni. Ẹ lọ wo Dubai. They are the richest. The richest city in the world, Dubai ni. The most beautiful city in the world. Kódà wọ́n tún find Abu Dhabi to jẹ́ capital lọ. Tá Abu Dhabi bá wá jókòó tó ní gbogbo resources àwọn márààrún tó kù kí wọ́n máa kó wá kán máa fi tá Abu Dhabi ṣe. Dubai ò ní rí bó ṣe rí yẹn. Cheating gidi ni. Kí ìlú kan máa pa owó fún ìlú kan náà. kílù tó wá ń pawó kílù tó ń gbowó yẹn máa rí rẹ̀ bí olórí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà nìyẹn. Pure anarchy. That's what we call anarchy. Pure one. They want to incriminate those that are saying the truth now. Wọ́n ti ní gbogbo ẹ̀ tó ń sòdodo, gbogbo ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe tó ń sọ hate speech ni wọ́n rí sí. Ẹ mọ̀ pé òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ máa ń korò létí ọlọ́rọ̀. We're saying the truth as it is, but yet the government of the day is seeing it as false. Twitter tí wọ́n láwọn ban, kí náà fi ban ẹ̀? Wọ́n tún padà ṣí o, wọ́n ti láwọn ti ṣí. Wọ́n ṣí pẹ̀lú condition. Wọ́n ti ṣí lénìí. Mr. President ti broadcast ẹ̀ mọ́. Wọ́n láwọn ti open ẹ̀ lénìí, thank God. Tó lọ́wọ́n ayọ́nu sí wa. Tí màá fi ṣe lọ lónìí, òun náà ni ìròyìn láti Ọ̀ṣun State, láti Ìràgbìjì to be precise. Tí ẹ bá gbàgbé, ẹ rí i pé ní àná ṣó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Mi ò pọ̀sẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀.
Ò pọ̀sẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Tó ohun tí màá fi ṣe lọ lónìí ni pé ìròyìn Ìràgbìjì tí mo sọ lánàá wípé àwọn olè ní ọ̀sán gan báyìí ò ní wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jalè, ní wọ́n pààyàn ní police station. Bákan náà ni pé wọ́n lọ fọ́ báǹkì. Ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ Tuesday, ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tó di Wednesday, ìyẹn ní ìjẹta yìí, ó ní gọ́fúnà Oyètọ́lá ni wọ́n ṣe ọjọ́ òbí wọn. Àwọn ará Ìràgbìjì ti yarí, wọ́n ní láíláí pé gọ́fúnà yìí ò kún àwọn lé, àwọn ò kún lójú. Ló ṣe jẹ́ pé ìjọ́ kejì tí wọ́n wá da ìlú rú tí àwọn wà ní ìbànújẹ́ ni gọ́fúnà yìí wá lóhùn ṣe birthday tóun. Èyí tí mo kàn rí sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ni pé yes a rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣé rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn governors náà tá ládìbò yàn? Ìtó kan ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nínú wọn ní báwo làpò tí wọ́n ṣe máa kún. Mo fọlọ́ búra, ìtó kan ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ó ní báwo làpò wọn ṣe máa kún. Kò sí tó kàn wọ́n pẹ̀lú ọmọ ìlú. Ìtó kan wọn ni pé tó bá ti rí ìbò yẹn gbà lọ́wọ́ wa kún. Ó parí nìyẹn. Ẹ ráwọn ọ̀nà míì tó jẹ́ pé kò ṣeé rìn. Tó lóṣèlú bá fẹ́ campaign, wọ́n á make sure báwọn débẹ̀ yẹn kódà kó ṣe kí wọ́n wọ trailer. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ gbèrí léka wípé ọ̀nà yìí ẹ fọkànbalẹ̀ àwọn abáyé tó ṣe ẹ dìbò fún wọn tán débẹ̀. Ẹ ní rí wọn mọ́ láíláí, ó tún dẹ̀yìn ọdún mẹ́rin míì. Wọ́n á wá wárọ̀ kan pa, wọ́n gbò bá ti kú tọ́dún mẹ́rin yẹn bá kú bí ọ̀sẹ̀ kan, wọ́n á ti máa fowó àti aṣọ àǹkárá wọ́n á ti máa fi ránṣẹ́. Débi páwọn èèyàn tó máa jẹ yẹn tó bá ti rí wọ́n á ti fi gbàgbé tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin ọdún mẹ́rin. Wọ́n pa ìlú nípakúpa, gọ́fúnà dẹ̀ ṣe celebration nínú ìlú ẹ̀ tó wá ní ọmọ ọbẹ̀ ni tó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Tó Ọlọ́run á ṣàánú wa o, oníyànṣe o, ọlọ́kàṣe, gbogbo èyí tí ẹ bá wa fi etí bá tèmi tẹ̀sí fojú wò, gbogbo yín náà lẹ ṣeun. Gbogbo aburú tá a kún sọ yóò ní kàn wá lágbára Ọlọ́run. Òdodo làwọn sọ bó ṣe rí la ṣe ń sọ yìí, ó sì ń ká wa lára bá ti ṣe ń sọ. Ní tó máa ń mú èmi jù láyé mi ó ní pé kí n jí lọ́la báyìí, kí n gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti release oníkálùkù ẹ lọ máa ṣèjọba yín fúnra yín o. Inú mi ìbá máa dùn o, torí pé solution kan ṣoṣo tèmi mọ̀ nìyẹn. Gbàgbéjì àwọn èèyàn ló wà nílùú òyìnbó tó lè wálé tó sì ti wùn kan wálé látijọ́ yìí. Ẹ rí gbogbo bọ́n ṣe jáde tó l'Amẹ́ríkà, wọ́n tún ti jáde bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní Europe. Lágbára Ọlọ́run tí tó bá ti parí rally yẹn máa gbé fídíò yẹn wá kẹ́yìn náà wò ó ń káwọn ẹni lára ní torí wípé wọn ò lè àfikọ́ lọ ṣàánú wa, àfikọ́ lọ ṣàánú wa. Tó oníyànṣe ọlọ́kàṣe o, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá wa wo tèmi, gbogbo yín náà lẹ ṣe wọn, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ojú tẹ́ fi wò wá ò ní fọ́, etí tẹ́ sì fi gbọ́ wá ò ní di. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ fún wa pé ní agbára Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè gbogbo ṣe jẹ́ tọlọ́run, a ti di full-fledged television station báyìí, a ti di TV station, a sì ti ń gba oríṣiríṣi, kódà mo tún ṣe ń bá yín kú sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, advert kan tó ti wọlé, so a ti ń gba àwọn advert. Ẹ free láti wá polówó ọjà yín nínú channel wa yìí. Ẹ gbé polówó yín wá, ìpolówó òun náà làgúnmọ́ o. Tá bá bá yín gbé sáyé, ẹ rí pé èrè rẹpẹtẹ, ìtẹ́ tí jẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn kékeré ló máa jẹ, nínú ìtẹ́ tún máa jẹ sí nísì. Torí pé gbàgbéje èèyàn ló máa mọ̀ ń pa aṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ṣe. Services lẹ́yìn rẹ́ndà ni. ẹ̀ ń báwọn èèyàn kó mọ́tò wọlé clearing and forwarding gbogbo yín náà là ń pè ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ́ ẹni olówó kéréje owó kékeré báyìí lágbà lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńláńlá gbogbo yín náà la pè ẹ wá bá wa dòwò pọ̀ nínú bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ TV ní agbára Ọlọ́run ẹ̀ ní regret trial shall convince you. Bákan náà ni wípé ẹ fẹ́ ra hair time bóyá ẹ̀yin ní program tẹ́yin fẹ́ máa ṣe religious programs it is allowed here àyè wà fún yín studios méje la níbi tá a wà yìí ìkan lèmi lò yìí ó sì kù 6 ẹ free láti wá lo ìkéyìí tó bá wù yín bẹ́ẹ̀ owó kékeré báyìí la máa gbà ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ jẹ́ seasoned presenters you can buy hair time from this TV station kẹfì máa hear program yìí Ọlọ́run á ṣe dáadáa fún wa ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ti subscribe fún wa ẹ ṣe bá wa bọwọ́ lù ẹ wo bí tán fàmì aago sí ẹ náà notification bell ni ẹ bá wa tẹ́ bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ àtijọ́ ń kọ́ mọ́ olùbọ̀ ti dìkan náà nìyẹn Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè ò ní jẹ́ kí ojú tẹ́ fi wò mí fọ́ etí tẹ́ sì fi gbọ́ mi ò ní di lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí orúkọ tèmi ni Aláwìyé Adébáyọ̀ Sàbúrì ọmọ bàbá tíṣà lábẹ́kúta ni mò ń fi àsìkò yìí sọ fún yín pé láyọ̀ o.